Hello and welcome to Buddhist Door Global's weekly news highlight. I'm Dr. Justin Whitaker, Senior Correspondent for BDG. As we are continuing to develop these weekly news highlights, please click the subscribe button and the thumbs up if you enjoy them, and offer us your feedback in the comments below. And as always, be sure to check out our website, buddhistdoor.net, for more on this story, as well as other news and features about Buddhism around the world. This week we highlight the news emerging from the predominantly Buddhist country of Myanmar. Specifically, two leading Buddhist organizations have issued statements regarding the recent military coup. We'll talk about those as well as a reflection on the situation by our contributor, Hozan Senauke, founder of the Clear View Project and Vice Abbot of the Berkeley Zen Center. To recap recent events, in the early morning hours on February 1st, Aung San Suu Kyi, along with Myanmar's President Win Myint and other senior figures in the National League for Democracy, were detained by the military. Hours later, the military declared a year-long state of emergency in the country. The coup took place just hours before the country's new parliament was due to convene following a general election in November of last year, in which the NLD, or National League for Democracy, made substantial electoral gains. Since then, a number of protests have taken place around the country, a few of them resulting in violence from government authorities. Buddhist Door Global has two news reports last week following these events and statements from prominent Buddhist groups. In the first statement, the International Buddhist Organization, Peace Sangha Union, denounced the recent military coup d'etat in Myanmar. As pro-democracy protests and strikes continue, Buddhist monks and nuns have joined tens of thousands of civilian demonstrators marching in towns and cities across the Southeast Asian nation, protesting the nation's removal and detention of Myanmar's democratically elected leaders and calling for democracy to be restored. In the Peace Sangha Union statement, they write, "As the elected leaders have been forcefully detained, there has been a total lack of compassion. The arbitrary declaration of military rule and its related negative impacts have destroyed any semblance of wisdom. The result of these reckless actions is that the citizens cannot even pay attention to the unprecedented global COVID-19 pandemic that we are presently facing. Moreover, the momentum of the growing economy as well as all social welfare programs have come to a sudden halt. Our future generation, as well as all of their freedoms, have also disappeared. In fact, the forceful seizure of control from the civilian government by the military leads to huge barriers in achieving the most coveted national unity under a federal democratic system." The union statement goes on to call for the immediate release of Aung San Suu Kyi and others, as well as the relinquishment of power by the military. They note that they will assist in ongoing activities of peaceful civil disobedience. In the second statement, the International Network of Engaged Buddhists, or INEB, urged reconciliation in the Southeast Asian nation and called for the unhindered restoration of democratic processes. In an open letter shared with Buddhist Door Global titled "Calling for Reconciliation, Nonviolence, and Democratic Processes in Myanmar," INEB states, regarding the unfolding situation in Burma, Myanmar, "We are deeply concerned that reconciliation be achieved and the restoration of democratic processes occur through nonviolent means. Images during the past few days have shown nonviolent discontent by thousands of people in Myanmar with the unconstitutional seizure of power by the military. The military, most of whom are Buddhists, have been shown not responding with acts of aggression against the people, and we fervently hope that they continue to do so." Our columnist, Hozan Senauke, offers much needed context, noting that Myanmar has never been a beacon of democracy. Violence has inevitably been the mark of regime change there. The country gained independence from the British rule in January 1948, and only a few months earlier, 8 members of the pre-independence interim government of the Union of Burma were machine-gunned during a cabinet meeting. Among the dead was General Aung San, father of Aung San Suu Kyi, who was just a child when he was assassinated. In 1962, with a communist insurrection on the borders and protests and instability across the country, General Ne Win took control in a military coup, imposing a brutal and irrational dictatorship. His Burmese way to socialism led the nation into an economic tailspin that took it from agricultural self-sufficiency to grinding poverty in less than a generation. In 1988, facing economic unrest and resistance to a long-standing political oppression, students and monks led a democratic uprising that coincided with Aung San Suu Kyi's return to the country from Britain. This movement was again met with violence and the displacement of the aging Ne Win with a junta of Tatmadaw generals, the State Law and Order Restoration Council. With a government imposition of radical price increases on fuel, rice, cooking oil, and other staple commodities in 2007, Burma, renamed Myanmar by the junta, faced another round of peaceful protests led by large numbers of Burmese monks and nuns, who were joined by activists and other citizens. The Saffron Revolution, named for the color of the monks' robes, faced an extremely violent reaction from the Tatmadaw. Deaths and disappearances at the hands of the military are still undetermined, but the fabric of society was badly torn. The history of atrocity and tragedy has only continued from there. Read his article, The Other Shoe Drops, Reflections on Myanmar's Latest Coup, on our website, buddhistdoor.net, and link below this video. Through this fraught history, Myanmar continues to offer treasures for committed Buddhists, for archaeologists, for the future of Buddhist women, and more. As political tensions continue there, Buddhist monastics and laity will likely have to make tough choices. We'll be watching developments, and we will be certain to share what we learn with you along the way.